Hi guys. Okay, so this is the month of January's dice forecast, and I'm going to give you the numbers. But before I give you those, I do want to talk about some stuff. First of all, I know this video is really late. I was kind of thrown off because my goal is to post these every first of the month, but I did the New Year's dice casting. I did the one for the whole New Year's on the first, and so I was trying to figure out when I would post this, and I'm just like, I'm going to post it whenever I get around to it, and that was sort of bad because I put it off. And this is the 8th, which means that we're through, I think this is the 8th. But we're through a couple of weeks of, we're already a couple of weeks into the new year. We're already a couple of days into the new year, into the month. So anyway, these are typically going to be posted on the first, and I'm trying to think of anything else. Can we just take a moment and to appreciate my background for a second? Because, like, as I was getting ready for this video, I was thinking, I'm just serving up teenage hoodoo realness. Because, like, you see my Bible and my picture, and you see my Dragon's Blood quill pen, and then you see the picture of Marie Laveau all the way over there, and then you see the protection orbs that I hang up right there. And if you look above Marie Laveau, there's a picture of the muses, and below Marie Laveau is yin and yang. I mean, below the muses is yin and yang, and then even further over, that is my own picture. Anyway, let's do the dice reading for this month. So, the first number for this month, my cat. The first number for this month is misfortune and loss, and this is going to be a general time for misfortune and loss, and I mean you can apply that to anything from money to friendships, communication, like business opportunities, loss. I actually found out that this was more true than anything because I lost a friend yesterday, and so that was, I lost a peer really, but that was hard. Anyway, look closely at the situations. So look closely at what's going on this month. Look at every individual piece of the picture as well as looking at the whole picture together. Look closely at the people that you choose to associate yourself with. Look closely at your resume and what you choose to put on it before you apply for that new job. Look closely at the people that you ask for recommendations from. Just look closely at everyone. Your situation will change without warning or without warning. So this is actually a very good thing. Things are going to be changing very fast for this month. So be ready for them. If things change for the better, you say, okay, well, that's good. If things change for the worse, well, you say, what can I do about it? Now 6, shortness and short-term illness gives you strife. And so what I really think, the last number is 11, and the forecast for that is short-term illness will give you strife. Guys, excuse me, but this is my strife. So what I really think this is talking about is seasonal defective disorder or something like that. And what I really think it is because of these winter months, you sort of get into that, like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do anything. It's so cold. Why do I have to leave the house? I hate work, blah, blah, blah. I think it's really that. So just be aware that those feelings are a general thing for this month. Meet them with positivity. At least I have a job. At least I can get up and leave my house during the day. At least I have a roof over my head. I mean, at least I have something. At least something. Relationships. So relationships are the next numbers. The first number of relationships is 3. Expect pleasant surprises. Situations will change without warning. So what I really think is that person that you've been giving the brush off, go out with them because it might be a pleasant experience as far as you know. and that person that you and that person that's been trying to set you up on a blind date, and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to go on another blind. Go out on that blind date, because that blind date might be, it might be something you enjoy, and it might even lead to a long-term relationship. Like it says, situations change without expectation, without you knowing it. And so, what I would also like to say is that you might go from being single one day, and then the next day you have, not necessarily a long-term relationship, but you at least have somebody that you're seeing on a regular basis. I also would like to say that the next number is 6, misfortune and loss. And I know I talked about this in the New Year's reading, and I really think that this applies to the relationships of this year, of this month, that you are going to start to cut off people that are not necessarily productive to who you are trying to be this year. And that is perfectly fine. Cut them off, and, it's okay to leave the past in the past, and only take the good things into the future with you. And situations will change without warning, so you might go from being in a relationship to being single very fast. The next number is 12. A message of great importance will arrive. And the 12 also means that if the message relates to legal matters, to seek advice from legal counsel. So what I do have to say about this is that I feel like this is sort of a bad omen. You might receive some information that is less than pleasing about your partner, and it might even be divorce papers, because it does talk about legal information and seeking legal counsel. So all I have to say is, like I said about the general, situations change without warning. So what you really need to do is, that you go and seek legal counsel. And if that person wants to try to fix things before the divorce is finalized, that's good. But if they don't, well, I can't tell you to say la vie, because I can't tell you say la vie, because that's, it's life, but it's unfortunate. But I will tell you this. If a person doesn't want to stay, you can't make them stay. And why would you want to make them stay? Because they're obviously unhappy. And if you're both not happy, it's just a pointless relationship. That's just my advice on the situation. So the news is coming. Be on the lookout for the news, and seek advice if it does relate to a legal matter. So seek a lawyer, or someone who is knowledgeable in the law and can give you advice in that. Okay, so the last number for relationships is 15. Don't start new stuff, and follow your intuitions. And so this sort of contradicts the first number that says situations will change situations will change, and expect pleasant surprises. What it's really saying is that this might not be the greatest time to start a new relationship. And that might be very true. But do follow your intuition on people. So if you feel like there's somebody that you need to be weary of, that might be, people are, what's the word I'm looking for? Paranoid for a reason. It's just our instinct of keeping ourselves safe and keeping ourselves protected. Now, some people have too much of this instinct, and some people have too little of this instinct. My thing is that if you feel that someone is not necessarily the best for you, and they have no recommendations from people that you trust, and you've actually been warned to stay away from that person, then stay away from that person. Okay. So the next is business, and the first number of business is 2. Things may not be as they appear. What I would really suggest is that you talk to, I know tax season is coming up, and I know this is a time where, a lot of people might get scammed in tax money. So what I would suggest is that, you have not multiple accountants, but like, you always seek a second opinion. I always feel like when it comes to money, it also comes to health. And like, if you felt like there was something wrong with, if you felt like your one doctor didn't tell you the right thing, you'd go and seek a second opinion. And so I don't think it's necessarily bad to seek a second opinion when it comes to money and finances, especially considering that money and finances, I don't want to say that money is everything, but if you're going to be if you're going to be a part of, society, modern society, it's very important. 3, your situations change without warning. Like these numbers, some of these numbers repeat from the general. Like 3 and 6 came up a lot, but your situations change without warning, which it could be a positive or negative thing when it comes to money. You have a lot of money and your situation is changing where you lose a lot of money, which would be indicated by the next number is 6, misfortune and loss. And so I do really think that this means that you're going to lose a lot of money, and that is not necessarily a bad thing because, where you lose money, there's always an opportunity to make up more money. Now, number 11 came up again. Short-term illness gives you strife, and a partner causing sorrow in a business. And so what I really feel like that means is that you might have a little bit of struggle with somebody that you're a business partner with. And as we've looked at in the relationship, the 12 came up, which means that, you might receive some information, you might receive an important message, and to seek legal advice. So what I really think that this is an extremely bad omen for those of you that are in own a business in which your partner is someone that you're married to. So I would just tell those people to be on the lookout for for messages, and to call lawyers as soon as you get your divorce papers, if you should get divorce papers. So the next is health, and the health reading was very, very sad. So the first number of health was 4, and that is unpleasant news. And and that's followed by the 3, which tells me that you go from having a really good, you go a really long time for being healthy, and you suddenly have a sudden change, and now you're sick. 6, health, 6, misfortune and loss. And what that tells me is that if people have been battling for a sickness for a very long time, this might be the month in which you lose them. And the last number for health was 13, and it's disappointment and unhappiness and miserable due to current situations. I'm sorry, I can't read my handwriting. So what that really tells me is that this month is going to be a hard month, guys. It's going to be an extremely hard month, and what we just have to do is keep our prayers right, keep everything together, and pray on everything. I'm sorry, I had to see what that noise was. So what I want to say to everybody is that I love you, God loves you. This is going to be a hard month for everybody, but we have to keep our head up and we have to keep pushing forward. With all of that being said, I do want to give you all blessings and ashe, and I'm praying for you, and I'm praying for me, and I'm praying for everyone who needs prayer. And thank you guys so much for watching this video. Ashe, ashe, ashe.